I am going to use a tack cloth just to lightly ensure there's nothing that's gonna get stuck on my veneer. Oops, be very careful or you'll rip your raw veneer. The number one tool you need for veneer is one of these glue rollers. It's usually rubber, and it just helps you to roll out the glue nice and fine. The glue we're going to use today is a Tripe Bond. Rated #1 by pros, so it's got to work, right? All right, when you're satisfied, you can stop. What I'll do is I'm going to actually move this. I wouldn't recommend moving it. And we're going to allow it to start to dry till it starts to become tacky. Okay, we're going to start with the substrate. I've sanded this. I'm just going to wipe it down. I only sanded it to, I think, about 80 or 120. So it is not the smoothest, but I don't have any real large raised areas or any holes or dents. Should your substrate have some holes, dents, or anything that's raised up, you want to sand that smooth. Okay, so once again, similar to what we did with the veneer itself, we are going to put some glue on. So with your glue roller, you do want to roll the glue out nice and even. You want to make sure every part is covered. You want to make sure you get the edges well, as that will be the area that gets the most wear and tear. When you're done, you can clean your glue roller very simply with some warm water and soap and put them away for the next use. Okay, so this glue has only been sitting, I think, like 10-15 minutes, so it didn't take very long. It's starting to harden. Some areas is a little tacky still. And this here is the other side. It's also a similar stage. So what we're gonna do, put them on. Make sure when we put them on, we put them kind of, I think he's a little short, but let's try this way then. You're going to want to be careful when the glue is tacky, it can get stuck and rip apart your veneer. So take your time. Don't push down until you know you're in the right spot. And then we're going to push down. The secret weapon, your iron. I use a dry iron. I do not want to risk any steam at all. Now I know the steam function can be helpful in some projects, but I mainly work with veneer and do not want to risk that the steam comes through. So probably about medium heat, and you'll put your cloth on as well. And what you're going to do is you're going to start in the center and work your way out. And what you should do is one piece, then the other piece. That way, if you need to adjust your seam, you still can. And the reason being that when you apply heat to veneers, they can shrink. It's not a huge shrinkage, but that line can become visible. Now, my #1 rule with veneer is patience. Fortunately, it's the hardest part for me. But veneer, you need to be, especially raw veneer, you need to be patient, work slowly. If you work too fast, you will get rips and tears. So now what we're doing is we're heating up the glue. The 2 glue layers should warm up, they should meld, and then when we remove the heat, they will cool down and be bonded. Remove this already. See here, a little glue seeped in. That can be cleaned up. And it's here. All right. So, working in the middle, we're going to work our way out. Little air bubbles there. Big one there. See, you can hear it. So at this point, I'm getting close to satisfied that there's very few, I think almost no air bubbles left. What I'm gonna do is go over all one more time, and then I will let it sit. I'll sit it to the side probably for a couple hours. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna put this board away. Okay, so it's been like half hour, not the couple hours I advise you to wait, but I'm just going to start by trimming some of the overhang away. So let's first start by trimming the majority of the overhang off. Yeah, let's try here. I find with the grain is always easier than against the grain. Alrighty, so we're getting there. I will still need to sand along the edges. What I'm going to do next, even though, as I mentioned, this board is just for oiling purposes, I am going to fill these splits with one of my favorite wood fillers. It's from Borma Wash. I don't think it's available in the States. It is, as far as I know, an Italian product originally. Yeah, it says made in Italy. It's a little scary going on, but no need to be scared. If you don't have a sander, you can also just simply hand sand your piece. I always recommend using a sanding block, and this is actually a good way to just take the edges off carefully that are still hanging over. So I'm moving in grit now from 120 to 180. I would recommend bolting down your board. As you can see, mine is moving quite a bit. Okay, and finally we will move from 180 to 240. It's always good, I can do it, but it's always good to take tack cloth, make sure there's no particles on there. All right, so let's clean this board up. Looking pretty good, but I'm gonna do still one thing. So you may wish to stop here. What I will do, because I have had water-based stains raise some air bubbles in the veneer that I've attached this way. So what I like to do is using a wet cloth with water, not with white spirits, because white spirits doesn't seem to have the same effect. I will wash this board down. It will raise the wood grain. And then what I'll do is I will hit it back one last time after it's dried with the 240. And that is if I haven't found any air bubbles. If I find some air bubbles, then I will once again press them down with the iron. Okay, so overall, it is looking okay, but I do have here. Can you hear that? Probably can't. One little right here. There's one. I don't consider these little air bubbles fails. It could be I had a little air trapped. It could be the glue did not adhere correctly to each other. Could be anything. All right, I'm gonna call that done. I'm gonna unplug this, and then we're gonna sand it one final time. To me, it's feeling good. No jagged edges. Let's check. No. All those bubbles seem to be flattened. And that's our board ready to be oiled.